This is my property tax bill. The house behind me is paid off. Paid off 9 years ago. No mortgage, no payment, nothing owed to anyone. And yet this bill comes every single year, and every year it climbs. But I do not pay what it says. I pay $1,380 a year less than the man down the road in the same size house. And I did not break a single law to do it. My name is Frank. I am 72 years old. I taught shop for 11 years, and then I carried mail for 18 more, in the same small town where I raised 3 kids. I have read every kind of letter this county sends a person, the tax notice, the assessment, the one stamped important that most folks open once, sigh at, and put in a drawer. I buried my wife Margaret 4 years ago. I live on a pension and what we saved. So when a bill climbs for no reason I can see, I do not just sigh anymore. I ask why. Here is what we are going to do. I am going to show you 4 kinds of help on your property tax. 4, one at a time. The first one, almost everybody over 65 can get. The second one freezes the bill so it cannot keep climbing while you are on a fixed income. The third one is a check that comes back to you. And the fourth one is the one nobody at the county will ever bring up. The one that has quietly kept people in homes they were about to lose. Stay with me. By the end, you will know which of the 4 to ask for, and the words to say when you call. But first, one warning, because there is a way to get this exactly backwards and lose the whole house. The story going around the diner is that if you sign up for any of this, the county reassesses you and you pay more. Or worse, the state takes your house. So let me be straight with you. Not paying your property tax is what gets a house seized. That part is true, and you must never just stop paying. But claiming a break you are entitled to is the exact opposite of not paying. One is ignoring the bill. The other is reading the rulebook out loud. Do not confuse the two. And do not let a man at the diner talk you out of money that is already yours. All right, now we can begin. So before we go through the 4, let me give you the easiest thing first. Free. Right now. Go find your last property tax bill. It is probably in a drawer. If you cannot find it, your county puts it online. Search your county name and the words property tax. Now, look down the bill for a line that says exemptions. Just that word. If that line is blank, or if it only shows the basic homestead and you are over 65, then you are almost certainly paying more than your neighbors who asked. That is the whole tell. One blank line. Here is the only sentence you need when you call the office that mailed you that bill. I am over 65 and I own my home. What exemptions and freezes am I entitled to? And what is the deadline to file? Write that down. That one call is worth more than anything else I will say today. But understand why that line was blank in the first place. Because it changes how you see every bill in the house. We treat the property tax like the weather. It comes, it is what it is. You pay it. My father paid his to the penny for 50 years and called it pride, and I believed that too. But here is the part nobody told us. The number on that bill is not a fixed fact. It is the full price. The price for somebody who never asked. And after 65, the rules underneath that number change, quietly, in your favor. There are exemptions, freezes, refunds, and deferrals written right into your state law and your county code, sitting there with your age on them. The county does not mail them to you. There is no clerk whose job it is to lower your bill. The system is not broken. It is just quiet. And quiet, on a paid-off house, is expensive. Margaret kept every tax bill we ever got in a green box on the shelf going back to 1971. She had a rule about official mail, 3 words, and I will get to them at the end because they are the reason I finally walked into that assessor's office at all. There is also a yellow form on this table, folded in thirds. I have not filled it out. I will tell you what it is near the end, because for some of you watching, it is the most important piece of paper in this whole video. Help number 1, the homestead exemption. Nearly every state has one, and it does a simple thing. It knocks a chunk of value off your home before the tax is figured, so you are taxed on less than the house is worth. In Florida, it can take up to $50,000 off. In Texas, the exemption for your homestead just went up to $140,000 off the school portion. And if you are over 65, there is another $60,000 on top of that. Now notice something. A lot of these videos online still say $100,000. They are reading from 2 years back. The number changed. The rules move, and the help usually moves in your direction, not against you. You apply one time at that same local office, and it carries forward. Most people who qualify for the extra senior portion never file the second form. They got the basic one when they bought the house and never went back. And here is what surprised me. None of this is a favor. It is not charity, and it is not a loophole somebody found. Every one of these 4 is written into state law, some of them right into the state constitution. And your assessor is the office paid to apply them. You are not asking the clerk to bend a rule. You are asking them to read their own rule book out loud. You are not a beggar. You are collecting something that already has your name on it. So ask yourself the question I asked too late. If this is all written down, why did nobody tell me? It is not a conspiracy. It is colder and simpler than that. Nobody earns a commission when your tax bill goes down. The county builds its budget partly on the people who never file. If you still have a mortgage, the bank pays the tax out of escrow and does not care whether it is high or low. It is your money, not theirs. The only person on this earth who benefits from your exemption is you, sitting in the house you already paid for. So here is exactly how you do it. You call your local tax assessor. In most of the country, that is the county. But in New Jersey, Massachusetts, Michigan, and a good part of New England, it is your city or your town hall. So do not get hung up on the word county. Call whoever mailed you that bill. You say the sentence, "I am over 65 and I own my home. What exemptions and freezes am I entitled to, and what is the deadline to file?" You bring 3 things when you go in: a photo identification, the deed, or a tax bill with your name on it, and proof of your age, which the license already is. The form has a number. In Texas, it is the residence homestead application. Ask for it by name, fill the 1 page, and hand it back. And mark this: almost every one of these offices has a filing window. Miss it, and you wait a year and pay the full freight in the meantime. So you do this the week you think of it, not the month. Now, help number 2, and this is the one that matters most if you plan to stay in your home a long time. It is called a freeze or a ceiling. Several states let a homeowner over 65 freeze the taxable value of the home or cap the bill itself so it cannot keep climbing as the neighborhood gets expensive around you. Texas caps the school tax on your home the year you turn 65. It cannot go up. Illinois freezes the assessment if your income is under about $75,000. You stop being taxed on a house that is worth more on paper every year while your pension stays exactly the same. And help number 3 is a refund. Some states do not lower the bill. They send money back. New Jersey runs a senior freeze that pays qualifying homeowners back on average around $1,400. Massachusetts gives a credit at tax time worth up to about $2,800. People who make these calls start looking at every bill in the drawer differently. The bill stops being a verdict. It starts being a question. And help number 4, the one nobody mentions, the deferral. If you are what they call house rich and cash poor, the home is worth plenty but the money coming in is thin, most states will let a homeowner over 65 defer the property tax. You do not pay it now. A lien sits on the house, and the tax is paid back with modest interest when the house is sold or passes on. It is not free, and it is not for everyone. But it has kept people in their homes who were one hard winter from losing them. And remember the warning from the start. This is claiming a break you are owed, not skipping the bill. It is the rule book, not a risk. That is the yellow form on my table. I do not need it today. I keep it because Margaret taught me to know where the door is before there is a fire. And for some of you, the help is not a discount at all. It is zero. Alabama exempts homeowners 65 and over from the state portion entirely. Alaska takes $150,000 off for seniors, the strongest in the country, and almost nobody there claims it. A veteran rated totally disabled pays nothing on the homestead in Texas, Florida, Virginia, and New Jersey. And in most states, when one spouse passes, the survivor carries the exemption forward. You do not lose it the year you are least able to fight for it. But I will be honest about the other side too. Some of these have income limits. Some states are stingy where others are generous. The answer to "do I qualify" is not always yes. The point is, you will never know until you ask the one office that has to tell you the truth. Let me put a number on the quiet. Of the people who qualify for these senior breaks, the clerk in my own county told me plainly that close to half have never filed. Half. 5 years of my $1,380 is just under $7,000. For a man with a bigger house, 5 years is a used car. It is a new roof. It is the difference between staying in your home and calling your daughter to ask if you can move into hers, which, if you are anything like me, you would rather eat the whole bill than do. Now, nobody is paying me to tell you any of this. Not the county, not the state, not one of these programs. They would rather you never called. No company sponsors this video. I am 72 years old. I have everything I need, and I cannot stand watching a man lose the house he spent 30 years paying off to a bill he never had to pay in full. That is the whole mission. So, 4 kinds of help, one more time, short and in order. 1, the homestead exemption. Knocks value off the house. Ask for the senior portion, not just the basic one. 2, the freeze. Caps or freezes the bill so it cannot climb while your income does not. 3, the refund. Some states mail money back. Ask if yours is one. 4, the deferral. The last door, the one that keeps you in the house when the cash is thin. For me, those 4 added up to that $1,380 a year. Every year, for the rest of my life, just for asking the question. And this yellow form, the one I told you I have not filled out, that is the deferral application for my county. I keep it folded under the bill, not because I need it, but because the day you might need it is not the day you want to be learning it exists. Margaret's rule, the one written on the green box in her hand, ask them first, 3 words. It took me 68 years and losing her to start listening. Do not wait that long. There is a particular quiet to a paid-off house on the first cool morning of the year. The furnace kicks on, the coffee is hot, and the tax bill on the table, when it comes, no longer has the power to make my stomach drop, because I know what is on it, and I know what is not on it that should be. That quiet is worth more than the money, though the money is nice too. Now it is your turn. Down in the comments, tell me 3 things: your state, your age, and whether that exemptions line on your bill was blank or not. That is it. I am going to be down there reading as many as I can, and I am going to pin the folks who found the biggest break in their own state so the rest of us can learn from a neighbor who just did it. Old mailman habit. I cannot leave an envelope unopened. There is a lot more in that drawer of yours that the county and the bank and the insurance man are all quietly counting on you never asking about. I am working my way through all of it, one kitchen table talk at a time. If that is the kind of thing you want a neighbor to walk you through, pull up a chair and subscribe. There is always more mail. Until then, look after your money, look after your knees, and call your kids.